utilising the properties of seaweed to develop a prototype animal health supplement that will provide farmers with another tool to potentially lower livestock emissions and improve their animals' overall health. The product has recently been renamed Fortress Plus, and after it has just won an established prototype award at the recent Field Days Online Innovation Awards in July. That was under the name Bioactive N. AgriSeed Business Development Manager Claire Bradley is joining us now from her home alongside Matt Beck, Lincoln University PhD graduate. Welcome to Sarah's Country, both of you, on what I believe is a wonderful filled house of your entire team, Claire. A great special time to pull everyone together.
Yeah, thanks for having us tonight, Sarah. Definitely got a full house tonight. We've got 50 odd people here, so there may be a bit of noise in the background, so our apologies if that gets in the way.
Children running up and down the hallway. I love elements of live TV, and we've had a cat, we've had everything. Now, Matt, I want to go to you, Lincoln University PhD graduate, and you spent your entire doctorate based on the development and testing of this particular product. Where did it all begin for you?
Yep, so my advisor, Pablo Gregorini, he was actually my dad's student. So I've known him since I was probably 10, when I was just a little chubby kid. And he reached out to me with the opportunity to do a PhD here in New Zealand. And New Zealand's been known for its grazing, being tops in the grazing management stuff. So I thought that'd be a really good opportunity. And so him and Claire had gotten together and applied for funding with Callahan Innovation to pursue and develop this new product. Yeah, so it all kind of fell together, and yeah, it's been really great.
Fantastic. Claire, would you be able to give us a bit of your journey? It's very inspiring, based in Paeroa, around the AgriSea story.
Yeah, I guess it started almost 25 years ago. Actually, my husband's parents were school teachers originally in Auckland, and they came across a farm that had no disease, really healthy animals. It was one of those fungal summers where there was facial eczema and a lot of pressures on animals. And its main input was utilising seaweeds. And so they took this knowledge back, started growing gardens and experimenting. And really it was, one of those Kiwi stories where it's come out of their garage, and we've now got a team of 35 across the country, supplying mainly the dairy market in New Zealand, but exporting to Italy, Australia, America, and across kind of all the agricultural input sectors.
So, Matt, on this journey around looking at the microbiotic level of an animal's rumen, how is seaweed that ultimate ingredient to achieve lower methane emissions?
So I guess different seaweeds would have different modes of action, and it's kind of amazing and a good opportunity to be on this as the interest in seaweeds kind of just developed all across the world. So it's a good field to be in. But like a red seaweed, I guess, would have more of a bromoform, which is a methane inhibitor. But there's some environmental concerns just around the bromoform itself because it's a greenhouse gas. And some of these brown seaweeds, they contain more fluorotannins, which is a secondary compound with similar makeup to some of the tannins that you get in wine. And so they can manipulate and alter the rumen microbes that are there, the populations. And also they can interact with some of the dietary nutrients that the cows consume. And this can reduce the methane by making these manipulations.
Claire, how does a business development manager at AgriSea, how is this a sort of a game changer for your particular business and offering around supplements?
Yeah, I mean, it is. We've always had a nutritional supplement for animals, and anecdotally have had some really good reports from farmers. But for us, it's really been able to put the hard science and the data behind our farmers' observations. So this was really an opportunity to really prove what our farmers, I guess, already know and see on their land and with their livestock. So for us, it's a really good feeling. It is a game changer. It has huge potential for helping farmers, just being another tool in their toolbox to help them really meet the demands of our future consumers who are wanting milk and meat and products that are produced in an environmentally friendly way.
And Claire, this would be a part of a more holistic farm management approach, not just a silver bullet. Would I be right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think, we're dreaming if we think that, that there is a silver bullet out there. There's, management techniques, there's grazing techniques, there's genetics coming into play. So there's a whole lot of companies innovating in New Zealand, especially to help try and meet these demands so that farmers really have a multitude of tools in their toolkit.
Matt, seaweed is a very exciting area, and I know around this particular part of the academia in Canterbury particularly. Do you feel that we have the infrastructure to support your type of research?
Definitely. I know Callaghan, for example, has a lot of opportunities for businesses to innovate, and it seems like the New Zealand government has a lot of grants that people can apply for to get funding for this area.
Sorry, my apologies. Sorry, and of course, multi-health supplements for animals. Claire, what is sort of that next step for AgriSea, and where you believe it can go?
Yeah, I guess for us, our business has always been reliant on seaweed as a raw resource. So for us, we've invested kind of 10-year research projects into how to really help establish management frameworks under quota management system for seaweed. There's companies investing in aquaculture of seaweeds alongside mussel lines. So we've got polyculture happening in our water spaces potentially. So for us, it's being involved in that whole supply chain, right from the raw resource and also supplying income to our remote coastal communities and all the way through that supply chain. So for us, it's really exciting. We are really keen to see seaweed become a really world-leading industry in New Zealand.
While I've got you there, Claire, because you're an expert on all things seaweed, is it true that seaweed is the best sequester of carbon?
It's absolutely one of the best sequesters of carbon. And I think kelp forests are some of the most productive ecosystems on this planet, even more productive than some of our rainforests. So they're huge in terms of their environmental benefits, just as a kelp forest in the ocean.
How is New Zealand seaweed industry sort of framework around it to support that growth so that New Zealand can be a real world leader in this space?
Yeah, it's a very fledgling industry, and Jill and Keith, who are my husband's parents, they are pioneers. 20 years ago, where they were ready to help develop seaweed industries. Worldwide, we're lucky to have looked at what works well and what doesn't work well in terms of the environmental use of seaweed and the growing of seaweed industries. So there's a lot of collaboration happening at the moment between CRIs, universities. There's a few industry players, not many of us, but a lot of people interested. So we're trying to get together as a platform to really, think about the problems now before we really create this industry.
Matt, you'll be aware that we have a capability problem in the primary sector, getting young people coming through. If they could hear about this type of cool job that you have and created around something like seaweed, do you think we could welcome more keen environmentalists into this space?
Yeah, I definitely believe so. And I would say it's been my experience that these the younger generation, I guess maybe I'm a part of that as well, they're definitely interested in improving or making improvements to our environment, and that's partly because we're just starting to realize how big of a problem it is, but also I think it's a genuine interest in wanting to do things the right way.
Oh, absolute inspiration. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on Sarah's Country.
This is Sarah's Country.